Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the channel. I am here with another tech review today. So this is another rangefinder. This one is actually from either WOSPORTS or WOSPORTS. I'm unsure of the pronunciation, but this one right here is one of their higher end models. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what's in it, test it. So if you watched either of my other reviews I did on rangefinders, the main point I was trying to get across is I reviewed a $300 one, I reviewed a $80 one I got off Amazon, to see if there's a difference really between a $300 model or an $80 model enough for the average consumer. Ultimately, I ended up finding out that I don't think there is, and that's why I'm actually really excited about this one. So this company actually makes a variety of products. They make them game trail cameras, they do like the hunting ones, rangefinders for that type of thing, and then they also of course make the golf ones, and they do have 4 different models when it comes to the golf ones. They have one without slope, they have one with slope. The without slope, they have a black model and a white model, and then they have one, of course, with the slope, and then they also have one with the slope that actually comes with a US charging opposed to just a traditional battery, and that's what one this is. So this one's really the higher end model. Their higher end model actually only comes in at $119.99, and then after that you got only $109.99 for the slope, and then just $80 for the other two. So these price ranges are great. That's right where we want to be. And then the other thing is that right now, I noticed that on Amazon, they even have the no slope models for $49.99 on sale. So these actually go way, way cheap as far as that price during sales and events, things like that. And if that's the case, it's really a no-brainer as long as everything, all the boxes are checked. So let's open it up and see what we got. All right, so like any standard rangefinder, you're going to have, of course, the rangefinder, a nice protective case that it goes in. It does come with the charging cable because this is the one that charges via USB as opposed to a regular battery. And then it comes with a little strap as well, and even a little cleaning cloth, so that way you can clean the lens or the laser, whatever you need to do in case something gets on it. Sometimes it gets a little dirty being out there in those golf carts for sure. All right, so before we get into the actual product, let's take a look here at the protective case. It is on the cheaper side, but that's fine. This kind of reminds me of the same one that my Peak Pulse Amazon one came in. I mean, very cheap, but on the inside it's very soft, so it is going to protect it. So even though on the outside it may feel a little nylon-y, hey, that's what you're getting for the price, so I don't have a problem with that at all. It fits really nicely in there. I don't have a problem putting it in at all. It's actually kind of a perfect fit, and then it just easily Velcros over the front, and it even has one of these little kind of carabiner clips on top, so you can either attach it to your bag or something in the cart, whatever you want to do. I definitely like that. Now let's look at the product itself. So this actually looks pretty good. I like this. Now, when you feel it, it is kind of plasticky, which most in this price range will be, but that doesn't really bother me as long as it tells the accuracy or on the distance. I'm cool looking at it. So you will see the contrast here of the gray and the white. I do like that. Even though the gray looks like it would be like a type of leather, it's not. It's definitely like a rubber. So it is cheaper materials, but again, when you're in this price range, that's what you're gonna get. That's pretty normal. Looks like rubber around the eye lens as well. And then of course right there you have a green light and a red light. That's to indicate the charging. So the green light, of course, is going to be green when it's done charging and the battery is full, and the red means it's still charging, and then you have your USB port. It does take a micro, which a lot of people still have micros around. It's still a very commonly used charge port, so that's great too. And then on top, you've got 2 buttons. You've got mode and you've got power. Now, this does come with 3 different modes from what I understand. Mode 1 is going to be just your regular rangefinder. You're just pointing at random objects, and you're just basically, hey, how far is that? Range 2 is going to be with the slope, and it does lock onto the flag and vibrate, which is a great feature. Some do that, some don't, but this one absolutely does, and I love that. And then range 3 is supposedly for like fast action. So like, if an animal's going by, which means that it has dual versatility. You can actually use this for golfing, but if you are a hunter or a bird watcher or something, you can use it for that too. So I pretty much exclusively use it on, mode 2. And then, yeah, I mean, if you come around to the front, of course, you've got the laser, you've got the lens, you got the logo on the side there. It's a very simplistic design, and it does have a little screw in for the bottom, so that way you can mount it to something if you want to. That way, if you're bird watching or doing any of those other activities I mentioned, you can actually just hold it up, but you don't have to actually hold it with your hand all the time. So I've been using this product for probably the last 3 weeks, and I gotta say that it's pretty accurate. I've put it up against a Bushnell, I've put it up against my Peak Pulse, and although it is kind of interesting, it's a little different because it actually goes, instead of being just like 131, it will tell you 131.6. So it actually does do the decimals, which is different. I've never had that before. So I will admit, sometimes you might hit the flag and it say 131.7, and then you'll hit it again and it'll say 131.4. So it's a little different in that regard, but remember, most don't actually go into the decimal, so they'll just say 131 and 131, so this one's really that close, and let's be honest, no one is fighting within a yard. If you're talking about feet on the golf course, you're too good, you need a Bushnell. But for the rest of the 99% of golfers, it seems to work really well. It has a very nice clear lens when you look through it. Everything's really vivid. It actually has a 6-time magnification, so I really like that as well. And then when you point it at the object and you actually, buzz it, it does pick up the flag very well. It vibrates, it lets you know, and it is very accurate compared, definitely within a yard of either the Bushnell, Peak Pulse, or anything else I tested it up against. So it does work. So overall, after taking all that into effect, is this worth your time? Absolutely it is. WOSPORTS was actually very nice enough to send this to me to review. And honestly, I'm glad they did, because it will replace the Peak Pulse I had. Not that the Peak Pulse is bad, but honestly, this one, it looks a lot more professional. I like what they did with the design there. They found a way to use cheaper materials to give you a cheaper price, but make it look a little bit more modern. The Peak Pulse is kind of the opposite. It looks plastic all the way around. It looks cheap. This actually doesn't look cheap. It's not until you really get in there, feel it, and see what it's made of. So I like that. It works very well. I like the fact that it uses the decimal system. It's unique, and having that charge port is really good. I'm not exactly 100% sure how much battery life you're going to get out of this, but I will say it's quite a bit, just because, like I said, I've been using it for 3 weeks a lot, and my battery still ain't dead. So I'm guessing that, if you're an average, one time a week golfer, it'll probably last you a couple months before you have to charge it again. And most people, let's be honest, when you get it home, just plug it in anyway and make sure it's always charged, so you never really have to worry about the battery. And that's probably going to be the selling point for me on this specific model. If you're someone who hates to change those batteries out and hate buying batteries, I can't stand buying batteries. This model right here is definitely the one for you. But like I said, they do offer the non-slope models right now, and they have great deals on them. Being under $100 is already a great enough deal, but under $50, that is a perfect Father's Day gift, birthday gift. I mean, really, for that, I don't know that you can get too many rangefinders for that type of price, so that's phenomenal. I am going to put a link. Now, I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I don't want you guys to think that, like, I'm making money off the commissions. I'm not. But I am going to go ahead and put the link in there just so you can check out the company, see what they're about. And the next time you are needing a rangefinder or need a gift for one of your golfing buddies, check them out. It might be something you want to look into. They might be interested in. Guys, as always, keep watching and keep saving. I appreciate you being here. Until next time.